I want to talk to you about some mid-season awards. I want to start with the managers. Who are those managers that have, really stood out to you? A couple, we've been speaking about earlier on in the day.
I think Gary O'Neill. I had Wolves as a relegation team candidates at the beginning of the season. I think Gary O'Neill has come in there and done fabulously well. Him and Sean Derry, his coaching staff have been brilliant. Changed things around there. Unai Emery has been magnificent.
Can't ignore that one.
Not at all. De Zerbi still at Brighton's doing magnificent things there in the way they're playing. But for me, Klopp has to be the big one. I think he's turned the team around. Last season they were way off, it fell off. Yeah. This season, top of the league more or less, and looking like title challengers again.
Postecoglou, Arteta, get a shout?
Postecoglou, I think, he's changed the dynamic of that club. Yeah. And I've been down to the training ground and it's very impressive what he's doing. I think he needs time still. Arteta in the challenge again for the title race has to be up there in the reckoning. But for me, I think Klopp, the way he's turned it around so much.
Klopp gets that one, does he? Yeah, I'll balance it out. I'll probably go with someone like Gary O'Neill, just on the basis of how tough the job that he took on and where he's got it to so far. Right, the
Can we go player? I want you to go first this time.
Well, the players... Yeah. Oh, cheers, yeah. Players is tough. It's really tough. I mean, I'm looking at Declan Rice. I think it's difficult to ignore Declan Rice and Saliba. And I think Declan in particular, his contribution, big fee on his head, a lot of pressure, a lot of eyeballs looking at him, how he's going to deliver. And I think if we're looking at his performance from mid-season to now, he's a difficult one to top. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I can't go too far away from Declan. I think he's, as an impact player to a team, and the difference that he's made, has there been anybody else that's made as big an impact with the price tag as well? That £100 million. How many of us are sitting on TV in the media at home around bars like this talking about, oh, it's a big money, big price tag? No one mentions it.
No.
That's testament to his performance.
We mentioned Unai Emery. There's got to be some Villa players, surely. Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, Douglas Luiz, I think.
McGinn as well.
Yeah. I think them two have been really good. Watkins scoring the goals as well. But I think Declan Rice, I think he's the one. He's a standout. I think Kundus at West Ham has been really good, but in glimpses. But Declan Rice is the man.
Look, it's the end of another year and there have been plenty of highlights. We're asking everyone on Twitter today, what has been the biggest surprise of 2023? What's yours?
Probably a bit unfashionable. Gary O'Neill at Wolves, and they sacked the manager.
Not like you to be unfashionable.
Obviously. but I had Wolves to go down based on last season's form and stuff. But the way he's come in and galvanised that club, him and Sean Derry coaching in there behind the scenes as well, I think it's been magnificent what they've done. And they're playing really good football. So a few decisions have gone against them. They could have more points on the board, but they're doing really well.
Yeah, a lot of people on Twitter are also saying Aston Villa, no one would have expected at this point that they'd even be mentioned in a title race.
Yeah, Unai Emery's been phenomenal. I mean, listen, his CV speaks for itself, doesn't even need to be put out in front of anybody, but he had a blip here in England with Arsenal. That's the only blemish I've seen on his career, really. But what he's doing there is he's absolutely transformed that club now, and they're doing really well.
Would it be fair to also put the two teams that are playing today in that category as well, for different reasons? Luton, obviously, probably one of the sides that everyone expected to go down, doing maybe slightly better than everyone was expecting. And Chelsea, who have just arrived here at Kenilworth Road, who have had a year to forget. Yeah,
well, I think everybody would have expected, based on the amount of money, almost £1 billion spent by Chelsea, you'd expect them to be up there fighting for the title when your outlay is that huge and humongous. But it hasn't worked out yet for them, and they're a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team at the moment, performance-wise.